Hey guys, Jeff Carver again here in the backyard, my backyard here in sunny, very sunny Southern California. It's probably about 80 degrees right now, which is highly unusual for early February, but it's good. We've had pretty well a lot of success in the backyard here with the raised beds. We grew a bunch of different stuff, and we're still harvesting. Stuff is still growing, and so I want to share that with you today. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, here's the first bed we have that I'm going to show you. We've got a bunch of beets here which look amazing. I don't really care for them. I grew them for my wife, and actually how she prepares them is pretty good for a beet. To me they taste like the dirt, so but I won't go too much into detail any further than that. But behind them we've got some broccoli which looks pretty healthy. We've already harvested quite a bit of it, and so it's been, tastes great. Everything tastes great, of course, from your own garden. You can see just how healthy all this is. We've got very few pests or bugs or anything, and that's just because, it's a healthy plant. It has a lot of nutrients. We take care of it, beforehand and throughout the season with just different things. But they love these raised beds, especially this area. We got a lot of rocks in the ground, a lot of things that are really hard for the plant to really plant its roots and dig its roots down deep. But these things love it. We have a lot of success with them. So I'll flash a little picture of our beets and on the screen so you can kind of see how they look. And they're for a beet, they're delicious. So there you have it. Okay, here we've got my favorite thing, or one of my favorite things to grow, which are onions. They took a beating in a wind storm here, or heavy winds, maybe about 3 weeks ago. So they kind of have some bent, you see some bent stalks and whatnot, but they're going to keep going. They're really a resilient plant, and every year I have excellent success. I have other videos online that you could see just our harvest of the red onions, the size of my hand, and that's pretty significant. So excited. I probably have about 70 or 80 of them planted in here. I got a little weed in here, but I come through and just kind of clean up in between here every so often, every few days or so. We like to keep it fairly watered, yeah, as you can see, they're ready to kind of burst out in size here. These are really getting huge. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see what we're going to do here in a few months. So there's our onions. Okay, so here I've got a few different things going on. In the front here we have some really nice Swiss chard that, again, my wife loves it. I love it too. It's really, to me, it's better than spinach. It's something that's, when it's cooked. I'm not a big raw spinach or a cooked spinach fan. I love raw spinach. I love the Swiss chard raw, but between the two, when they're cooked, really prefer the Swiss chard. So also have some lettuce back here. It says iceberg on the package. Doesn't look like the store-bought, which is fine. I don't really care for that. It doesn't have any taste. This stuff is excellent. It tastes really good. And then what happened was I had too many beets, which is an excellent thing to have, I guess. But I took those, thinned them out, and then I just decided to plant some in between here, and those have turned out really good. And then, as you can see here, I had extra onions as well, and they're just kind of popping up. I planted them up through here. So all these things kind of grow well together. They're cold weather, fall plantings, and it's just, you want to maximize your space, and I think we're doing that here. You can see how green and how lush and just how good, everything is. So, yeah, excited to keep doing this. But hopefully, again, these onions, really excited to see how big they'll get in amongst these other plants. So let's move on. So here's another plant that's really just done very well here. The first time we've grown this, it's kale. I'm not sure. I think it's an Italian lacinato. Not sure how to pronounce it, but that's the variety. And this stuff is just prolific. It's very thick, very hardy. You know, this stuff, just like broccoli, when you put water on it, it beads right off. So it's got it like almost protects itself. The aphids do like it, so I come through and I'll spray them off. It's easy just to spray them off. They go away. But you know, as you can see, just tons of it. It just keeps growing. You can't even see my spinach in the back, the deer tongue spinach, which has come, you know, has been really good. We harvest that every day as well, almost. And yeah, just this stuff. I mean, the stalk on these things. I'll try and get a close up here on this in a second here, but the stalk is just really thick. Just a good, healthy, definitely a healthy plant to eat. So we're enjoying it, and yeah, hopefully be able to just keep growing them like this. So okay, finally in the shade here. Good. Arugula. I hate arugula. Just found that out basically this year because we grew what was called a, I don't know, spring mix or something like that. 99% of it was arugula, and which is very healthy, very good for you, very green, very aromatic. But I just can't stand the strong flavor of it. So we've given it to our friends who have rabbits, and whoever else eats like a rabbit, we'll just give it to them. And we'll sparingly use it in our salads. But I don't think we're going to grow it again. It's just one of those things that you kind of figure out. It grew. I mean, look at this stuff. It's already all going to seed. Just so prolific, so huge. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous how big these things are. And unfortunately, we're just not eating it, not utilizing it. So probably won't plant that again. Hopefully, we'll get a true spring mix next year and be able to have some variety in the lettuce. These monsters, however, this Napa cabbage, and we've harvested at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these things. This is obviously the biggest one right now, but just the massive size of this. I'll throw a picture up as well of that. Humongous. I mean, these things love the raised beds. All of our lettuce, and when we get to our romaine, you'll see, well, the romaine patch is not too, it's pretty sparse now because we keep harvesting, but this stuff loves raised beds, loves this area and the cool weather. And again, we've had so many great salads, and just, I don't know if you like Chinese chicken salad, we make tons of that. Just barbecue some chicken, marinated in that great sauce that they have and our dressing, and just go to town. It's really good stuff. So, you know, I got some little romaines here. They kind of got squeezed out. I planted them just because I had some space, so they got a little bit squeezed out. But you know, still stuff you can eat. You know, lettuce you can eat. So we might as well try to grow it. So had a few extra seeds. They're cheap. You know, so it's great to just continue to, you know, get as much production as you can. So anyway, let's check out the romaine patch here. Okay, we've got romaine. Obviously, this one here, because it's been so hot, starting to bolt. Still eat this stuff, and you know, it doesn't look like much, and that's because we've harvested a bunch of romaine. Last year we did the same. It's one of my favorite lettuces to grow. It just comes up, and it takes a little while. You kind of wonder if it's gonna do anything, and then all of a sudden it just goes, and you have so much lettuce you can't even eat it all, obviously. So we give a ton away to friends, family, you know, whoever wants it, and then we eat it. Obviously, we got a lot of lettuce here, so we're eating a lot of lettuce in the fall here. But it's coming around to spring pretty soon, and I'm pretty excited about a couple of these trees here that have not produced much in the past. But let me just kind of quickly show you a few of our citrus here. Okay, this is an orange tree. It's a navel orange tree, and it was purchased actually at Home Depot, which I don't really purchase any trees from Home Depot anymore. Not because they have bad trees, but because it takes actually a long time for them to produce fruit unless they're already producing. This one here was purchased 3 years ago. You can see the size of the base on this thing, the trunk this thing has. It's massive. It's probably double the size when I bought it. But it never produced any oranges, and so for a couple years now I've been threatening it and saying, you know, you're going to be cast into the fire, cut down and cast into the fire if you don't give me some oranges. Well, you know, by God's grace and you know, His desire to save this tree, I have a ton of new buds on this thing, and let me just zoom in and give you a quick shot of that. As you can see here, here's just one little set. I mean, I haven't seen these things here on this tree yet. Okay, just wanted to give you a quick update of our wine barrels here, and these are really nice because, you know, they take up a small area. So if you have an apartment or a condo or just a house that doesn't have too big of a yard, or you just have a patio, you know, nowadays all the new houses, especially in California, Southern California, they just bunch them up really tight, and so it's kind of sad, but you know, that's what it is. And so you maybe only fit one of these or two of these or just a couple of these a few of these in your yard, but they're really nice because they keep the moisture in, they keep a good temperature all the time and kind of regulate themselves. They're, you know, if you get worms in there and stuff, they just have their own little ecosystem and they keep feeding this soil. It's really, really rich. If you look, I'll point to this one here. Sorry, the camera's strapped in the way, but you know, you can see how black this soil is, and that's not a lot of effort making that happen. So, you know, that's just a real benefit to these things. And yeah, these are old, but they still work, you know, and they kind of look cool, I think. This one obviously had basil and sage, and took out about half the basil. Not sure if it's going to make it, but there's some in there. The basil was, you know, about 3 feet tall. And over here I've just got an overflow of onions and chives, and there's a little barrage flower coming up, volunteer there. These chives I planted literally 3 years ago, and somehow, some way, they've always survived, reproduced just in that little bunch. So my potatoes, I love putting them on the potatoes and everything, so they've done really well. And then, you know, if you just have little pots and stuff, you can do anything. You know, I've got you know, 5 onions just in here. They're doing okay. I could probably water them again, give them a little more, but you know, it's nice to just have these for the overflow, for those things that you don't want to dedicate too much space to, but you still want to have in your garden. So you can do a little tea garden. You can do herbs, spices, peppers are really good in these. So I had great success. In fact, my most prolific bell pepper plant was planted in this barrel here, and I must have had, you know, 10 pounds of bell peppers come off of one plant. It's just awesome. So anyway, that's going to conclude the garden tour. I know I've got still some trees to show you. I've got stuff going on. You can see my pallets. That's going to be my composting section over there. So there's work going on. And then eventually, as I promised, we're going to have beds here, 3 more beds, just to kind of expand the garden. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to show you in another video how I start my plants, and you know, just what I'm planning on doing this spring. So thanks for watching, and talk to you again soon.